Victor here. Today we're going to be looking at this opening. I discovered recently it's actually called the Hypermodern Sicilian. So this opening actually now becomes a little bit more difficult because it blocks this key diagonal for yellow. I'm not going to be looking at this opening today because I think that's an opening in itself to consider. But after green moves over here, then blue, rather red, moves over here. We've seen this before. It's a little bit different because the red queen is now exposed. So if you do nothing, then just win the queen. If instead of nothing, see, check that way, then you can save the queen like that. Or if the queen takes, looking for mate, so check, like that. And the bishop is trapped. So if you try to check yellow here, then you have this. Checkmate. So it doesn't really matter what you do. Mate. So you're really up a queen in this variation. So obviously blue cannot take. So if instead you move up here, to prevent the check. The idea here is yellow, is to move here. Now if you want to move out, there or there, again you have the same variation in the queen's variation. Try to kick green off that diagonal. So you can go for the kick, and keep in mind that you have a mate threat as it stands. You can't really move the knight up yet, because you have this check. So you want to block off that check. And also attack the queen if you can. Don't want to see that coming over here, so stay on that diagonal. So as red, you can move over here. And then blue, you do something. Now you block off the checks. And even if you try to block, you can go for this. So this looks pretty strong to me. It's red and yellow. Not quite sure where else you would go if you don't want to block off the diagonal. Right here, can't really support it. Red does have a flight square, so it's not really a threat because of this pawn blocking off the queen here. And of course it gets entirely different if you move the queen there, because now the queen can't even check yellow, So you can just move the knight up if the blue queen moves there. So it's not really working out. Pretty sure that you just do this. Same thing, look for that. Pretty sure this is not a move for green. Like, let's look at it really fast to verify. So now you have to escape that diagonal. I'm not sure where you go. None of these look too promising. Maybe move there. And here you have that. So after yellow's move here to, well, of course, blue has a check now. You can do that. Let's see here. On retrospect, maybe not yet. Maybe move the knight up first. That way, green has to spend a move. And still have this. Can't block off with the knight so easily here. Still have that thread open. Probably the knight first here, I'm guessing. And if you want to check, then you can just move the bishop there. And you also have this idea. You have a lot of ideas here. A lot of them look really good for red and yellow. I think it's too early to move the queen out to either of these squares here. If you want to move there, then here's red. Now you have to defend that square. So you move here, and this is a key square, because the queen cannot move out on account of a new threat. It's to move there, to fork these, and the pawn is pinned by the red queen. So I think for blue you have to move the knight up. And here you have this idea. Now, if you try to move out again, you do have another checkmate threat. But again, you have to be wary of the check by blue. So you move the knight up to defend that. And now again, you're looking at this. You're looking at a lot of stuff. Try to defend. That way, then you move up. You have that mate threat, and you can attack the queen. If you try to move up with the knight here, then I believe you still move up, because now you have the double check threat, which should be winning for red and yellow, and you can attack the queen. So again, I believe it's premature to move the queen out even here. So, as green, one thing you could do is you can move the knight there. And if you move the knight there, as red, finally you have to consider, okay, we have some breathing room. Let's block some blue. with that threat. And don't really believe you can do this yet, because queen can move back, and what is blue gonna do? So and again, if you move up, no longer really have to worry about boxing in, boxing blue to prive the diagonal. And still you have a pretty good game against green. And I believe the next step for red is perhaps consider moving down. You also have this. To prevent the queen from coming out, I think the bishop up's probably the best idea here, because blue is really inactive now. So as you can see, key ideas in the queen's variation for the hypermodern Sicilian Khan include this queen here, the bishop there, the knight here. This creates a fortress from checks from the blue's queen. This way, you can put all kinds of attacks on green. And they're all really good. Another opening that I looked at briefly was what about this one? And this one is not really so difficult. Again, you cannot take for the same reasons already mentioned. And if you move the pawn up, well, let's say you want to move the queen up. The idea here is to do that. And then, yeah. I guess as blue you can defend here. I'm not sure. As yellow you can just save the queen. And you have all kinds of threats. So pretty sure that just wins a queen if you want to move out early. Of course that might seem obvious, but I looked at that, figured I'd share it. So again, the only opening to really look at in depth now is this one. Because now that the queen might not best be here, we have to consider if the queen can work from there. It's a little bit trickier, and I'll do that another day. So hope you like it, and I'll catch you next time. Peace out. And one final note to consider in this opening, this could very well, when the pawn moves up 2 spaces, this pawn up here could very well be another good idea to consider. It's one of the few pieces that is not active in the queen's variation. Because after you move the knight up here and the knight there to block that threat off, well, the knight is no longer there to defend against that check. So that's one final idea to really consider. in this variation. See you next time. Peace.